Hey, Steph. Good to see you, by the way. Belated happy birthday.
Thanks, Chuck.
Lots happened to the Bulls since the Bulls played you early in the season. I'd like to get your thoughts on the trade with Vucevic coming to the Bulls. Tice is a Bull. Aminu's coming over. And what's your take on what's happening in Chicago?
I mean, I haven't thought about it much until today, just in terms of the game plan. But we know how amazing Vucevic has been playing for a while now. You know, a couple All-Stars and obviously with Zach and what he's been doing this year. So big pickup for him, and I'm sure it'll take some time to gel and figure out, you know, how they're gonna go about things. But you know, like when you're adding talent, that's what every team wants to do. You want to add, you know, at each position, some needle movers. That's you know what Vucevic can be for them, and hopefully they stay healthy. I think that's been a big part of probably their up and down from year to year. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, you know, it doesn't go too well tonight.
Steph, what have you seen out of Zach's growth this year?
He just looks comfortable and confident that he can, you know, his pace is unreal, and you know, it seems like the game has slowed down for him, and obviously when he's shooting the ball well, he's tough because he's got such a quick burst. You got to respect the drive, but he can also, you know, beat you from the outside. So I think when a guy hits that sweet spot where, you know, maybe 3-4 possessions, they hit you a bunch of different ways, that's when you know that things have really clicked and they're in complete control of the game. And again, the speed of the game and just all those reads just slow down. And I think he's hit that sweet spot.
I guess, Steve, what's the mood, knowing that you guys have lost 4 straight, but having a practice, having a day off yesterday, and just the feeling of getting back to work with a game tomorrow?
Yeah, much needed day off. You know, I think the last 2 games were definitely demoralizing for everybody. I also know that we've been a really competitive team all season, and, you know, 72 hours ago or so, maybe it was 96, whatever it was, we came back from 24 down against a great team, and you know, had a great effort, and a lot of stuff went wrong over the last few days. You know, people being sick, just obviously still missing Steph, running into a couple of hot teams. And, you know, so maybe I'm making excuses, but I think what I like to do is really try to see the forest for the trees. And I understand this team better than anybody, and I have no doubt we're going to bounce back. And the way we have to do that, though, is with better defense, for sure. We did not defend at a high level at all the last 2 nights and last 2 games, and we got to get back to that.
Coach Mark Haynes, being that you guys have been struggling the last few games, getting this practice in, do you kind of turn up the pace during practice, or is it more of a slow down, pay attention to details type thing?
Well, you go over detail, and you definitely get up and down the floor a little bit. Anytime you have a day off as a player, you need to feel a scrimmage situation just to get your legs and your rhythm back. So we did some of that, but we went over our defense with a lot of detail, and then had a really good day's work. And now it's time to get some rest and bounce back tomorrow.
Do you recognize this Bulls team that you'll be facing, considering the trades they just made?
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch their game from last night against San Antonio, so I'll do that and get a look. Obviously, some big changes, and you know, getting Vooch is a big deal. He's a great player, so yeah, they will be formidable for sure.
You mentioned the confidence you have in you guys the rest of the season, but does this feel like an urgent moment for you then, you know, considering what's come before it, maybe getting Steph back and I mean, the season, there's not that much time left in the season.
Yeah, it does, Anthony. I think, and we've had a few of these moments during the season where you could just sense, all right, we need to win. We need to win a game. And each time we have felt that, our team has responded. And so I'm very confident that we're going to respond. And we've got a really good opportunity down the stretch with, what do we have, 26 left? 26 games left. We're right in the thick of it, of everything. So a great opportunity. And this is, coming at a time where we've lost 4 in a row. We've been without Steph. We've had some things go against us. Been hit in the mouth a couple of times. We got to respond.
Do you know too much about the trades that the Bulls made? I think they'll have at least four new players for this game.
I know Vucevic went there. I'm not sure whom else. To be quite honest, I try not to follow too much of that stuff. But, I mean, even with Vucevic on the team, that's a huge difference maker. Zach LaVine's a great player. So I'm excited to be able to compete against he and Vucevic, along with the rest of the Chicago Bulls. But I think that's a huge pickup for them. I really like Vucevic's game. Very physical, can stretch the floor. He's a tough matchup for sure. So I think they're more competitive.
Steve explained that the last 2 losses especially were really demoralizing. What was the mood at practice? How are you guys feeling getting ready for a game tomorrow?
They were very demoralizing, especially for me. I think they were very winnable games. I was super frustrated after the last game just because I'm such a competitor and I know that we can win those games. I know that we should have won those games. What I'm learning, though, in this league, it's a long season. Can't harp on things that have passed too long. We still got a lot of games to play. But with that being said, obviously we still have to learn from our past mistakes and build on that and correct them. So I think guys are ready to compete. Obviously, with Steph being in practice, there's a different energy. And so I think everybody really prefers to have him on the floor than not. So I think there's a different approach after the day. There was, some smiles. And so I came in with smiles. Everybody came in with some good energy. So hopefully that just carries over into tomorrow.
Damian, what was the last time you played the Bulls? You had that buzzer beater 3. What do you remember about that? What do you remember about that game, kind of starting off the season with that first win?
It was a dope night. Just obviously it's a close game. Steph was going crazy. And, we had a chance to take the lead. I believe we were down 128, 127, something like that. And, had the chance to take the lead. And, Steph was the first option. Wiggs was the next option. And then, Loon and I had that connection and then, shot the shot and made the shot and got the win.
Did you say you and Loon had that eye contact, right? You're like, if it looks like it's gonna be a 5 count for you to get this ball in bounds, just give it to me. Yeah, and that sounds like teammates who've been working together for a while.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Loon and I, ever since I've been in the organization, we've kind of had this connection where just understanding where his spots are, where my spots are, whether playing hit hand back or him getting the ball, in the post and, just kind of playing off pick and roll. So one of those situations and, it was, worked out in our favor that night and, got us our first win in the season. So thanks, Kerr.
Jamie, does this feel like an urgent moment in your season? I mean, obviously you've had some losses, but you might get Steph back. There's not that much time left in the season. Does this feel like, the beginning of an urgent moment?
I mean, I guess you could say that, but not necessarily trying to put like the pressure on it. I mean, knowing that, we have lost 4 in a row and, we need to get back to the basics. And I think today was a really good practice for that, for us. So, obviously going forward, can't necessarily fully, rely on, one person. Everyone has to, as they said in the post game, look themselves in the mirror and understand what their role is and continue to bring that every single night so we can, start closing games out or, getting pissed off about getting blown out. So that's really where it comes from for that. And, starts tomorrow. Obviously, this is our next game. And then, we have this 3-game road trip coming up. So you have to take a day at a time, day by day. But, it starts tomorrow. We're trying to get back on the right track.